Ah, good old Doom. Just a simple game where you shoot demons while trying to get to the end of the level, occasionally finding a secret which rewarded you for exploration. Game basically pioneered an FPS genre, and even after all these years, it's still extremely fun. So what the fuck happened?
Listen up, newbie, I'll give you some advice. Keep your eyes open and stay focused. Yeah, I see people come and go around here all the time. Wonder how long you'll last.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When this came out, people were very impressed by next-gen graphics and new scary atmosphere. Back then, when I was playing a level and suddenly this big piece of shit appears and tries to break through the room to get me, I shattered a few bricks and never played this game again, leaving with very positive impression while being spooked to death. But now after finishing the game, it does not hold up. I wouldn't even call it a good game by today's standards.
Listen, I'd love to talk, but I'm really busy.
I think at halfway I googled how many levels are there, thinking it was closer to the end, but then realizing what there's still 15 more. I wanted to cry. So I'm going to explain why Doom 3 sucks, and hey, since my good friend gifted me a new game in the series, I will be comparing these two as well. Let's start.
Took your sweet time, Marine? Now, here's the situation.
Doom 3 came out in 2004, considered by many to be the best year in gaming. Many franchises were getting sequels, improving not only in graphics fidelity but also in gameplay, bringing something new to the table. Any new IPs which got released were genre redefining, making history on its own.
If you press it, you can go shit. So when we're playing cooperative,
First-person shooters, more than others, benefited from that here. We've got games like Half-Life 2, Painkiller, Far Cry, and many more. While some FPS gave player a huge variety in levels, going from small quarters to big open sandbox areas, each having its own atmosphere and new game mechanic to play with, others still stayed close to the original genre, having an old structure but with huge improvements. And then there's this piece of shit. Where do I even start? Gameplay is slow, instead of fast action-paced original, with a lot of enemies to shoot and a lot of bullets to supply our demand. Now we have a game which pretends to be some kind of survival horror. Ammo is scarce, there's always not enough of it, since majority of enemies you encounter is going to be a small number of weak demons and zombies. Shooting with big guns like rocket launcher gonna be feeling like a waste, so you end up saving that ammo for a hard fight, which never comes. Not like you care, since majority of weapons feels like shit anyway, so you end up using machine gun and plasma gun 90% of the time. Why not use a shotgun, you ask? Well, developers committed the biggest sin of all. They made shotguns a terrible weapon. In a fucking Doom of all places. Jesus Christ almighty.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
It's like the most iconic weapon in gaming. In original it did a lot of damage, had a great range and you always had enough ammo for it. Here, let Bill Burr explain you the power of a shotgun.
You need a shotgun, man. It's got a good spread. It's easy to load, doesn't have a lot of working parts, got a good spread. Further away you are, the more shit you hit. It's got a good spread. In fact, you got a problem over here, you ain't even gotta look, you just turn, wow, that's it. You ain't got a problem over here anymore. Anything that was even remotely a problem ain't there anymore, trust me. And then these people here, they saw what you just did here, you ain't got a problem here either, feel me?
In Doom 3 it doesn't have a good spread. It doesn't have any range, reload time is slow as fuck, and worst of all it does shit damage. Always feels like you need to shoot at very close distance, putting a barrel right into the ass, for them to even notice. So you're just gonna end up using machine gun instead, since it's better in every single way. I usually used the shotgun when I didn't have ammo for any other gun, that's how much I hated it. Well, I guess you can also use a shotgun to finish off zombies. If you don't do few extra shots at their corpses, after a short time they're just gonna rise up again. That's so fucking annoying. Also, what did they do to my big fucking gun? Baby, what have they done to you? Remember how fun it was? Well, since in Doom 3 levels consist of shit small corridors and game spawns only 2-3 enemies at a time, you're not gonna have that much of an opportunity to use it. Always gonna feel like a waste of ammo. So you end up blowing it on bosses, which become very easy since you saved up that much. Speaking of bosses, they're fucking boring and put it in the game just for a checklist. Level design is terrible. Usually you get locked door which blocks your progress and you need to find the key for it, just like in original Doom. But sometimes that door can be right at the start, containing an exit to the next level. Towards the end you're gonna be tempted to just using no clip and skipping a level like that. You go through tiny corridors, not seeing shit, because game is too dark and our marine is too retarded to tape flashlight to his gun. So you either need to constantly swap to your flashlight or download a mod which fixes it. After a while you get locked in a box, kill all the enemies and door unlocks. Cycle continues. And by box I mean literal fucking box. Just look at it. Let me increase the brightness so you can see it more clearly. There's nothing wrong with locking player in an area to make him kill waves of enemies, so he can progress further, but you can't just put him in a fucking box! It becomes so boring and breaks your immersion, reminding you what you're just playing a video game, trying to find escapism because you hate your life.
My mom always said life was like a box.
Fuck you! Sometimes game lets you go outside, giving a limited air supply. But it doesn't matter, usually you just go out, kill 1 or 2 enemies, walk a straight line, and that's it! You're done! What a waste of time. They also added puzzles. In a Doom game. What the fuck? Remember secrets, right? Some of them just gave you extra health or ammo, and some rewarded you with a new gun, which wasn't accessible till later levels. In Doom 3 they just put some small health pack or armor shard in a dark corner, under the stairs or other tiny place, which isn't a secret at all. No secret wall, secret switch, anything. Instead now you have lockers. To access the locker you need to find the code by looking through somebody's email, or what's worse, listen through their voice messages.
Audio log for Dr. Cassian, currently stationed at Mars City.
Usually you don't need to pay attention till the very last moment, since they start saying the numbers right at the end.
I hope that additional psychiatrists arrive soon. In the meantime, in response to this assault, all medical supplies and armaments will be locked in a secure hospital cabinet with the code 347. Dr. Cassian out.
Developers wanted player to care about the story by making him look through these logs and mails for a reward, while getting him immersed in hopelessness atmosphere of Mars colony going to pure shit. But in reality I just ended up scrolling through everything till I got the numbers. Because it's so boring. Majority of messages can be summed up like staff incompetence, spam, complaining about spam, status updates, doctor appointments, sexual harassment. The dialogues are not that fascinating either.
I'm filing this report because I am frustrated beyond belief by the level of incompetency I have to deal with here.
I don't want to sound crazy here, but my guys and myself are a little spooked, and some of the guys were even talking about ghosts.
Help! Thank you. I'm getting out of here.
Hey you! Can you help me? I'm trapped in here. Release the door lock.
The equipment equipment seems to be affected by something unseen. The equipment seems to be affected by something unseen. The equipment seems to be affected by something unseen. The equipment seems to be affected by
Game also have a big fetish with the word spooky. It probably have more appearances than the word fucking Scarface.
Spooked. Spooky. And spooky. Spooked.
About the story, it's pretty uninteresting as well. You arrive on Mars colony as a generic marine, just to replace another generic marine who died during some operation. You get assignment to find the missing scientist, and all hell breaks loose. At the end you kill Cyber Demon, close portal to hell, and get to the credits. Plot here is not interesting or important, it just becomes a radio noise in the background.
Please, if anyone can hear me, please help me!
Sometimes it provides a great atmosphere, sure, by making you hear all panic and uncertainty in people's voices. But in the end, you didn't pay that much attention to what's happening, nor you had an interest to find out. Speaking of atmosphere, was it worth making such drastic changes, going from classic shooter to FPS with horror elements? Welp, game just isn't scary anymore. Sure, it started cuts you off guard with jump scares, but quickly becomes irritating, because enemies can pop up from anywhere and you get used to it. It also doesn't help what AI is brain dead. They just run straight in your face, or do shit like this. Current health system is bad for this kind of gameplay. Imagine going through most of the level unharmed, skipping a lot of med packs, but then you receive damage from a jump scare or monster sneaking from behind, and there's nothing to heal you, so you do some backtracking to the last place you've seen a med pack, making slow-paced gameplay even more slower. Not to mention it also adds problems like wasting large medkits just to restore 1% HP, because you accidentally walk it next to it. There's a mod called Sick Mode, which allows you to store any excess medkits, so you can use them at any time you need. The system is more fitting and solves bad resource management, and actually makes it closer to games like Dead Space or Resident Evil. In the end I understand where they were going with this, trying to make something new and innovate. But due to shitty level design and slow-paced gameplay, annoying gimmicks, it's not a game I would play today. Doom 3 did its part though. Jump scared many people when it came out, made them rush to buy a new rig and transition into the next gen, and forever going to be a part of greatest year in gaming. But I can definitely say what it does not hold up to those child memories I had when it came out. Let's just hope what sequel gonna come back with style and bring the old school of the original.
They are rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear, until it is done.
Cannot be allowed to leave this place. He would ruin everything.
New Doom has taken me by surprise. After seeing first preview footage, which made the game to look slow, because they played it on console, it made me think what I would be bored out of this gameplay quickly. Multiplayer demo didn't help either. But after actually playing the game I've changed my mind. Doom is back and rocks my socks off. Gameplay is amazing. They somehow restored the old feel of the original but improved on it by adding some new mechanics. Let's start from weapons. First thing, shotgun. It's awesome. They also added double barrel shotgun from Doom 2. Now that's a good spread. All weapons feel fucking nice and find some kind of use. And each one now have some kind of secondary fire, which you can change and upgrade accordingly. Get the last upgrade for that attachment, game gives you some kind of challenge which is fun to do, and after it's done, it can change your gameplay drastically. With such huge amount of arsenal and variety and upgrades, each player going to have different experience and favorite weapons. When it finally starts to click, you enter some kind of trance by using all game mechanics to your advantage, while abusing weapon synergies. Double barrel shotgun and Gauss cannon, for example. Since they both do a lot of damage and have huge reload time, you can just simply shot one weapon and instead of waiting for reload, just switch and get another shot in. That way you never stop shooting and constantly doing damage. Not to mention you have answers for both range and close combat with these weapons. I fucking love this combo. What about those glory kills? Well, since gameplay is much faster, and you may find situations where there's not enough health or armor laying around, using these glory kills gives you a nice different animation, depending on what part of the body you're aiming, and gives certain amount of HP. The bigger the mob, the better. They are not happening that often, especially at later levels when you have way more powerful weapons, and I have never gotten tired of them. I think it's a good way to give a player some extra HP, so he may not be completely fucked if there is no medkits around him. And that way developers can throw much bigger and harder waves of monsters at the player, and making sure what even polygon tier players can have a chance. And if you're out of ammo, they've made a nice mechanic for a chainsaw. When you kill demons with it, it uses points of fuel required for that mob and gives you ammo. The bigger they are, more fuel you spend. It's a one-shot weapon, but it's balanced pretty nicely. Since fuel is scattered across the level and you have only 2 bars of fuel at start of the game, you can't just one-shot bigger demons right away, only at later levels when you have maximum amount of fuel. What about my lovable BFG? Well, they have made it function as oh shit button, which I like. Ammo for it is limited, you can only have 3 charges, but this weapon kills everything. You use this when you're simply overwhelmed to have maximum amount of demons on your screen, to make this shit count. I love it. When you use all these mechanics I talked about simultaneously, it's nothing short of poetry.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one.
Thanks, George. Cunt. There's also power-ups. You can get quad damage, haste, invulnerability, and berserk, which makes you one-shot everything with your fists. Compare it to berserk in Doom 3. It looks the same as Drunk power-up from Duke Nukem Forever, and anything which reminds you of that fucking game is a bad sign. Let's talk about upgrade system. Before you reach endgame upgrades, you need to unlock them by collecting tokens and all that shit for progression system. I know some people have issues with recent games putting meaningless progression, aka locking basic stuff which usually was available right from the start, but I think Doom did its progression right. Combination of rune trials, secrets, level challenges makes progression interesting and gives me reason to explore the whole map, compared to Doom 3 where all you did is find 1 shard of armor and a monster popping out of your ass. Secrets are actually fun and useful, containing additional health, ammo, tokens for upgrades, and even give early access to powerful weapons, just like in original Doom. My favorite secrets are old Doom levels. Each stage have a lever, which if pulled, opens up a door to vanilla map. After finding the map, you can also play it from the main menu. That's so fucking cool. Speaking of levels, they're amazing, each having different aesthetic, music theme, and some of them even pay homage to Doom 3 levels, which is great. It doesn't have retarded puzzles like in Doom 3, instead just a little bit of good old platform jumping, to keep your mind entertained and give you some time to appreciate the level surroundings. Music is fucking good, man. I have been listening to BFG theme for months now. This is the shit to listen when you pick up weights or go jogging. It's hyping you up. I like how music have multiple phases. calm one, which starts when enemy wave begins. The more demons you kill, the more tense it becomes. And then it goes full swing when you do a glory kill. After everything is dead, it gives out final cue, letting you know what you're done. It's just perfect. Compare that to Doom 3, which is just an ambient music shitfest. Only good soundtrack from that game is main theme, which plays only in menu and end credits. Story boils down to robot penis hands trying to tell main character to go after meth addicted looking hooker, but he's just like, I don't give a fuck! At the end she turns into Craig from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you fuck her brains out. Literally. And robot betrays you so they can set up a sequel. I'm okay with this. I like what story doesn't interrupt gameplay, and anytime they try to say exposition, our hero pretty much doesn't give a shit, emphasizing what's more important here. There's only a few times when game locks you in a room just to give you key information on what your next task is going to be, but you still have control and game even lets you shoot one of the main characters.
Save your ammunition.
I hate when developers don't even trust the player to do basic option as to shoot a friendly NPC.
Yeah, this is what I do all day. You sure are curious, aren't you? Yeah, this is what I do all day.
Bosses are also worth mentioning. Instead of just putting a big ass mop in the middle of the room, which doesn't do jack shit and only acts as a bullet sponge, here we have 3 bosses, each have own mechanics and different phases, just like raid bosses in WoW and other MMOs. They're quite fun and challenging, and makes you wish for more. I'd say to conclusion, just compare 2 main heroes in these games. First one is a guy who got awakened from a long slumber, a legend, whom all demons of hell fear. The only thing they could do thousands of years ago is put him to sleep. He didn't say a single word, yet we know his character. We want to relate to him. He's a fucking badass, and maybe needs some anger management courses.
You need to remove each lens individually. Carefully release the hinges.
Other guy is just a soldier who arrived as a replacement. He's easily forgettable, easily replaceable, and he ends up just being a survival who got lucky enough to live through this. Doom 3 is always going to be remembered as just a game with pretty graphics, great for its time, outdated today. With such forgettable gameplay, it's just gonna continue to fade away the more time passes. Doom 4 is going to be remembered as a game which has woken up a genre from its slumber, gave the new life to old school shooters, a worthy successor to its father's legacy. We honestly live in a great times. When old franchises rise from the ashes and gets proper reboots they deserve, I cannot be more happy how good this turned out, especially after that cancelled 2011 Doom, footage of which got leaked. Phew! Dodge that fucking bullet. Can't wait to see what future sequel will bring us. And somehow I feel it will not disappoint. Until then, thanks for watching, see you next time.
Our time is up. I can't kill you, but I won't have you standing in our way. Until we see each other again.